All praises to Ahaya and Ahaya alone. For Ahaya alone is our master, alone is our savior, alone is our redeemer, and alone is our king. Yada. Haya. This is Brother Holly with the second Word of Truth broadcast here on the AHAYAH'S channel, as well as the House of Ahaya channel on this set apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, as always, like to give all glory, praise, and honor to the I am that I am, the Ahaya, Ahaya, the one who is, was, and is to come. He is the one who sits on high and judges among the nations. All praises. We'll be reading from the Learn Paleo Hebrew Torah, Lashma Kudash, Holy Tongue, Yashahai Bible Scriptures, as well as we'll be referencing something in the Bible King James plus Apocryphy version, the truth revealed and restored, Abba Father, Ahaya, Yeshaya, Kodash Akkad, Ancient Paleo Hebrew, English Bible. And in a moment, you'll see what we're going to be referencing from in this particular version in just a moment. But as some of you have probably understood and heard me say from at least of the last 8 to 10 months, I never, ever, ever use the term Israel, the name that has been ascribed to the children of Jacob from the heathens. I never use that name. I either say Yasha Allah, or more recently, I've started to say Yashahaya. And the reason I don't say Yasha Allah as much, even though Yasha Allah is a proper term to be used, and I'll read you the prohibition here in a moment. The reason I don't do it is because the Allah at the end of the term Yasha Allah is too close in pronunciation to the name of an idol, the idol that the Islamic people worship, the rock in the box, if you will. If you go to Mecca and you look in, and you can, if you ever could get inside the Kabbalah box, you could see a black meteorite, a black stone, and Islamic legend says that this stone turned black with the sins of the world. So that's their version of JC, I suppose. Instead of a mythical character, an idol called JC bearing the sins of the world, the rock in the box did it. So what does Torah tell us? That each man's gonna, die for his own sins. You can be cleansed from your sin. The Most High is more than willing and able. One of his benefits found in the Psalms that he forgives all our iniquities and he heals all our diseases. All praises. Okay, let's turn to Exodus chapter 23 and let's read verse 13. And this is the prohibition against saying words like Israel. Exodus 23:13. And in all things I have said unto you, be circumspect or careful, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of your mouth. Now, you were saying to yourself right now, well, Brother Holly, Israel is not the name of another god. You are partially correct. It is not the name of a singular other god. It is the name of 3 other gods or idols, because according to Psalms, all the gods of the heathen are idols. So 3 particular idols names are found within the name Israel, and we will use this version to prove such. I'll turn to the back and you can see it for yourself. I haven't done this in a while on this channel, but I did it before, and as you can see very well right there, my finger is, I'll move my finger. As you can see, it's Isis, which is a female god of the Egyptians, Ra, which is a male god of the Egyptians, and El, which is a Babylonian idol of thunder. Put them all together, it's Israel. All praises. So that's why Brother Holly doesn't speak that word Israel, and I caution you against doing the same. Why? Because it says right here in Exodus 23:13 not to make mention of the names of other gods. We're only to speak the name of Ahaya. That's the only name, because that's the name he gave for himself, as we proved in the first broadcast. But let's go back to Proverbs chapter 30. And it was important that I went over this with you, because you will hear me use the phrase Yasha, which means upright, Haya, of the power, to describe the children of Jacob. Though Yasha Allah is perfectly okay. It's just that the Allah part of Yasha Allah is phonetically the same as the name, spelled different, but phonetically, what comes out of what's heard is the same thing. So just to be on the safe side, even though I know it's not the same name or referring to the same being, I just want to be on the safe side. Haya, no, there's not an idol on the planet called Haya. So we can use Haya, and I use it often in almost every circumstance to make sure that I stay away from breaking the prohibition of Exodus 23:13. You might be saying to yourself, brother, how that seems a bit excessive. Hey, I'm just trying to make the kingdom, and I hope you're trying to do the same. All praises. So let's go to Proverbs chapter 30. And we'll read verse 4 again. Who has ascended into heaven? This is Proverbs 30:4. Who has ascended into heaven, or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you can tell? Okay, we proved from the book of Exodus in the first broadcast what the name of the Almighty is. The Almighty Haya of the children of Jacob. Moses in Exodus chapter 3 asked Haya. He said, when I go to your people and tell them that you sent me, they're going to want to know what your name is. What shall I tell them? And he said, Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. I am that I am. And you tell them Ahaya has sent me unto you. Thus we have it on, and I showed it to you in 3 or 4 different versions of the scriptures. They all say the same thing. Ahaya is the name of the Most High. All praises. The name he gave for himself. And as I said in the first broadcast, I'm not against people who use Yahuwah or Yahweh, because it only means he who is dreadful or he who is terrifying. And if we got on good report from the Tanakh, the Most High is terrifying. He is dreadful. He'll kill you. He'll kill a whole nation. He said all the nations are nothing but a drop in a bucket to him. He considers them as spittle in the Apocryphal books. He said they're nothing but a drop of water to him. He said he's going to make a full end of all the nations except the children of Jacob. We're the only people he's not going to destroy utterly and totally. So for all you other people, you Eases, Cans, Ands, and Ishes. You know, Cans like Americans, Mexicans, Ands, Canadians, Ishes, Jewish, Scottish, British, English, Irish, and Eases, Taiwanese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese, all the Cans and Ishes and Eases. There's no place for you. There's only one group of people that's gonna make it and not be destroyed in the end. That's the people who go by the term Haya is behind their name. That's the children of Yasha Haya, the children of Jacob. All praises. So we need to discover what the Most High's son's name is. Let's see what he says it is. Turn back with me to Exodus. We are pretty much living in the book of Exodus today. All praises. Exodus chapter 4, verse 19. And I mentioned in the first broadcast, in Exodus chapter 3 is the Most High's name revealed. Exodus chapter 4 is his son's name revealed. So it's real easy to find this information. The question of Proverbs chapter 30 is answered in the book of Exodus chapter 3 and chapter 4. And we get more. We get a second witness to the son's name in Hosea. And we'll look at that in a moment. All praises. Exodus chapter 4, verse 19. Let's go. And AHAYAH said unto Moshe in Midian, Go return unto Egypt, for all the men are dead that sought your life. Get ready. I'm putting you on plagiarism alert. Okay? Now, plagiarism alert is when you read something in the Tanakh or the Old Testament that was plagiarized and put into the New. So I'm putting you on plagiarism alert. We're about to cross that barrier. So it's you'll catch it. Exodus chapter 4, verse 20. And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of the Almighty Hayah in his hand. What you highlight? Well, you say, wait a minute. What was the plagiarism, Brother Holly? In the New Testament or the New Testament, did not our father Joseph put your idol Shah and his mother on a donkey and took them to Egypt? Moses put his wife and his sons on a donkey or an ass and took them to Egypt. Didn't that just get repeated? That whole go back to Egypt. Well, see, Brother Holly, well, see, that was so that it could be said that I called my son out of Egypt. We're going to read who that was said about. That wasn't said about JC. That was said about the person or the people who AHAYAH referred to as his son, even his firstborn. We're going to read that too in a moment. Verse 20 again. And Moses took his wife and his sons, here's the plagiarism alert, and set them upon an ass and returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of the Almighty Hayah in his hand. And AHAYAH said unto Moses, When you go to return into Egypt, see that you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And you shall say, verse 22 is key. Here we go. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, Thus says AHAYAH, Yashahayah is my son, even my firstborn. Will you highlight? Oh, give me my first time out. Who did the Most High say is his firstborn son? He said Yasha'Allah is, or Yashahayah is. Speaking of the people, not just Jacob the man, but Jacob the tribes. Because all 12 tribes of Jacob were in Egypt, under Pharaoh, in bondage. And all 12 tribes came out. So he was speaking of the people by calling them by the name of their forefather, Jacob, or Yashahayah. I'll read it again. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, this is Moses, this is AHAYAH saying unto Moses, and you shall say unto Pharaoh, this is Exodus 4:22, and you shall say unto Pharaoh, Thus says AHAYAH, Yashahayah is my son, even my firstborn. Verse 23, and I say unto you, let my son go. Give me my second time out. How many of you were convinced that it said in the scripture, let my people go? How many of you were convinced because of that blasphemous movie, The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston? How many? I was floored the first time I realized he didn't say that. Because that's what it said over there on that movie. See, the movies of Hollywood messed you all up. Messed me up too. Put a 1 in the chat if you thought it said, let my people go. It doesn't say that at all. It says, let my son go. Wow, I'll read it again. Exodus 4:23, and I say unto you, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. Give me my third time out. I got one left. Is that exactly what happened? When Pharaoh refused to let the children of Yashahaya go, what happened? Most High plagued them. Boils, flies, frogs, still refused to let them go. Darkness, still refused. Blood, drunk blood, or the Nile turned to blood, still didn't let them go. All the cattle died. Hailstones fell to the ground. Fire lit up. Still didn't let them go. It was only until the Most High killed the firstborn of Pharaoh and all his servants did he finally let Yashahaya go. Most High told Moses before he got back to Egypt, listen here, do the miracles, do the signs in front of Pharaoh, but I'm going to harden his heart. I'm going to harden his heart. It's part of my plan to kill all of them, to do all that to them. The Most High get retribution like you don't believe. See, the New Testament and Hollywood and poison your mind about him. It's personal with the Most High. You messing with his son, his firstborn. Who would that be? That would be the children of Jacob. That would be Yashahaya. I'll read it again. Exodus chapter 4, verse 22. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Ahayah, Yashahaya is my son. Does it say JC is his son? Does it say my son's gonna come 400 years, 500, 600, 700, 1,000 years in the future, and he gonna come bolting back into Egypt on a coat of an ass as a baby? Does it say that? No. No. I say no. Well, Brother Holly, don't you know the scriptures have duality of meaning? Only to you heathenistic, idolatrous Bahashemers it does. If you still Bahashem, you're an idol worshiper. I ain't playing with you no more. If you Bahashem, you're an idol worshiper. If you believe that foolishness of the New Testament, you're an idol worshiper. You worship an idol called JC. For shame. You worshiping an accursed person. He was hung on a tree, allegedly, which makes him accursed. And to all you Hebrew Christianite brothers out there, give me the last time I'm talking to you right now. How are you under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 when your idol shy was made a curse for you according to the apostate Paul in Galatians chapter 3? How are you still under the curses if he's been made a curse for you? And it said that the blessing of Abraham might come upon the Gentiles. I get it. It doesn't say the blessing of Abraham might come upon the children of Jacob. It should have said that, but it didn't. But if you believe in JC, or your idol shy, or no shoe, or whatever you want to call him, Hebrew Christianite, how are you still under the curses? Even to this day, subject to payments, like it says in Baruch in the Apocrypha. You still subject to payments. How is that possible if he was made a curse for you? That's an aside. We'll talk about it in the coming weeks of how it wills to be so that I live his kingdom tearing there for me. We'll talk about it. But I want you to chew on that and put an explanation to that in the comments. Would you? Thanks. I digress. Exodus chapter 4, verse 22 again. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Ahayah, Yashahaya is my son, even my firstborn. I'm going to reiterate that a couple hundred times to burn through in your consciousness. But we'll get the second witness. I'm not going to delay much. And I say unto you, this is Exodus 4:23, and I say unto you, let my son go. He didn't say let my people go. Let my son go, that he may serve me. If you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. Now let's go to Hosea. We are almost done, child. Let's get a second witness to Yashahiah, or Jacob, being the son of Hayah, or the son of Ahayah. Ahayah already said who his son is in Exodus 4:22. Let's see if he said it again through the mouth of one of his prophets. Hosea chapter 11, verse 1. When Yashahiah was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt. I don't have any more timeouts to call. But didn't we just read about that? We just read over in Exodus about Moses returning to Egypt to fetch Ahayah's son out through signs and wonders, to fetch him out through killing the Pharaoh's firstborn, destroying all Pharaoh had, destroyed his army in the Red Sea. Everything Pharaoh had, man. He went from being the most powerful person on the planet to being a nobody overnight. They ain't been great since. Egypt hasn't been jack crap since. Wow. When Ahayah do you in, you done in for good. Oh, these destinations, they still exist. But they ain't never did nothing on a global scale since. At all. And he destroyed them thoroughly. What was their crime? They held the children of Jacob captive. They held Ahayah's firstborn son captive. And Ahayah said, let my son go. So I say to America, let Ahayah's son go, that we may serve him. Let his son go. As he plagued Pharaoh, he'll plague you. You don't think he'll kill you? Better ask somebody. Better ask the Egyptians. I'll read Hosea 11:1 again. When Yashahiah, or Jacob, was a child, then I loved him. See, it's completely backwards of that plagiarism you find over in the New Testament. Ahayah loved his son. He didn't love the people of the world. He loved his son. He destroyed the people of the world. He loved his son, who was Yashahiah, who was the children of Jacob. We're his sons. We're his daughters. He loved us. He referred to us in the singular. Did he not in Exodus 4:22 and 23? He referred to us in the singular. He referred to all of us in the singular. All of us. His sons and daughters, he looked upon as the firstborn. And if you don't let his firstborn go, he's going to kill you. He'll kill your firstborn. He don't play. Ahayah don't play about us, okay? He said, when my firstborn son, come on, when Yashahiah, who is his firstborn son, according to Exodus 4:22 and 23, was a child, then I loved him and called my son out of Egypt. We read about it in Exodus 4. This is the second witness. Who is the son of Ahayah? Is it JC, your idol Shah, no Shua? No. Ahayah's son is Jacob and his seed after him. All praises to Ahayah and Ahayah alone. For Ahayah alone is our master, alone is our savior, alone is our redeemer, and alone is our king. Yada. Hayah.